All right, so stream is starting. Let me also share the chat so that if people are chatting, we get to see it. Twitch stream, there we are. Okay. Okay, so I'm Llewellyn Falco. With me today is Jay Bazuzzi,
I
and we are going to take a look at some legacy code that was suggested to us from Claire McCrae. I have not seen the code yet. You've gotten the project set up. What do you know about this code so far, Jay?
I watched somebody start refactoring a little bit, but I haven't looked at it closely.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the code.
Okay, there is a README with instructions. I don't know if we care about that,
Read me.
but
Huh. So since this might be like a play project, the README might be helpful. But usually the READMEs lie to me, so my general habit is to ignore them.
all right,
We got code though.
we do have code.
Let's take a look at the code. We've got region code. At the very least, let's expand all that.
All right, it is 1,000 lines long.
That's fun. There's a main program.
Yep.
Scroll down.
There's a static method play. Let's see. Let me collapse again.
What does the main do?
Main runs play.
All right. Well, let's run the play and see what happens. Okay, it does stuff. Um, well, let's see if that works. Let's do a regression test. So let's start there. We're gonna need like a test project probably. So let's
Sure.
do that. I figure like regardless of what happens, like it printed out a whole bunch of stuff to the console. That's probably easy to lock. I just don't know if it's consistent. Sudoku kata dot tests. Tests. I forget the nomenclature for that one.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. We're not in Java, so there isn't a redirect that we can hijack the sys out to. Right, but basically that's what I want
There
to do.
is
Is there?
the console. There's something, right? Right. I thought there was like you can set console out to a thing.
Can
Let's
you
see if
set
that's
console
variable.
out?
Let's take a look.
Yeah, decomiled.
Yeah, that looks mutable.
Okay. Um, well, in that case, let's mute it.
So let's
How about a string buffer? String builder? I forget what it's called here. Builder. Probably builder. String writer. Sure. That works good. Output. Oh, that works too. And then let's set, yeah, set it here. Does not seem happy about that.
oh, it is read only. Bummer. Okay.
We could reflectionly change it anyways.
We could do that. We could make a lambda somewhere. It's like more
Yeah.
code editing than I want to do before we have any kind of test.
But let's just reflectionly kill it.
Okay.
So what would that be? It'd be like console. We need to get console out as a. No, keep that string writer. We're gonna want that, right? Because the only problem right now is that you can't set console that out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if we go to console in reflection, type of console, yeah, and then get member out.
Is it a property, a method field? Wait, what?
Looks like it was a property. and then see if you can do a dot set on it. Null for the object because it's static. And then, oh, wait, sorry. Why an index?
I think there's just a lot of them. Nope, just the 4.
Oh, just a lot of them. Okay. So yeah, just pass it input, output.
There's just 4 values, and it can be int or long.
Then we have not gotten this right.
It's a field, right? So let's do field things.
Set value direct.
Sure. Typed reference. I don't know what a type reference is.
Just Google for a second. Reflection set. We got help from Claire online. So let's pull this up. Actually, let me pull it up where you can see it. So I'm going to open up Chrome here. Can you open up Chrome? I appear to be in non-typing mode. Oh, but then that also causes a problem with me. Let's see if I can get out of non-typing mode. Control keyboard and mouse. Oh, it says I can control keyboard and mouse. Okay, that almost worked. Oh, do you have it set to not share a clipboard?
I don't think I toggled anything about that.
There we go. Yeah, that worked. What do we got here? But here we're writing
Set up. There we go. No reflection required.
Wait, there's a set. What did it do? Oh, there's a set out?
Yeah.
Okay, well, done. All right, next step. Let's run that main program. We should have just read all the options that were available there.
Do you want me to do anything with this or just run it?
Add the main.
Add main. Okay, what you're saying.
Sudoku kado.main.
I wasn't there. Where was it?
Or program.main.
Console.main. No, that's not it. Wrong file. Here we go. Sudoku kado.program.main. And would like this to be public, please.
Yeah, that would make it easier. Just program.
We don't have a reference yet, but
still just program.main. Yeah. Get rid of the Sudoku kado part. Yeah, and then import, and then call it main, and don't pass it anything or null.
So you know it prompts for input, right?
Go null. I don't think it did prompt for input. Oh, but you're right. It did prompt for input.
Well, it did, but I don't care about this part. I'm fine with calling play directly. What do you think?
Let's call play. That works for me.
That's not. We imported the wrong thing. What is this?
Click on program for a second and hit Alt-Enter.
Alt-Enter wants to complete in a very particular way.
No, wait, hold on. Alt-Enter shouldn't.
So we don't have a project reference, which we should add.
But it should do that when you hit Alt-Enter.
Except it's finding another program that is plenty handy.
It still should be an option, though. Check the little drop down again.
Which little drop
So
down?
click on program, hit the window, the red light bulb on the side from ReSharper. Yeah, there we go.
No, that's not what you want. See, that's trying to import.
It's the third
There we go. This is the one we want.
There we are. But yeah, my point being, I knew it should be in that. Okay, so now let's run this and see what happens. Oh, you're gonna have to throw in a. Yeah, we didn't do anything.
No, we didn't.
So let's add approval test. And,
it doesn't crash. That's something.
Yeah, that is something. Let's add approval test and verify it. You're gonna have to NuGet it.
Will it not automatically do that? Let's see.
Yeah, that's nice. So hit the plus.
No, not that.
Missing a semicolon, and of course you're going to have to put output into that. No, just output.
I didn't write that. I assume toString.
Yeah, probably. But even if you didn't, it would do that anyways. You're going to have to, and let's actually copy the assembly one. Yeah, copy that. If you scroll down, you'll see a best practice. Yeah, copy those two lines and make a approval test config.cs file. Approval tests config. There we go. And now let's go back and run this again. Okay, just throw this over, and we're going to run it again to see if it's consistent.
It's not.
You're sure it's not?
No, I'm making a prediction.
Oh.
We always make predictions when we run tests.
We do. Well, that's very, very different. Starting look of the board to solve state. So the boards are not even consistent on how they come out, right? So let's go take a look at why they might not be. So anytime something's not consistent, it's usually random. So there's a random. Okay, so this is fairly easy to solve. And line 34, just put a 1 inside of that random. Yeah, and run that. Yay, consistency. Do we have like some way to check this in? Yeah, so let's start this with check in everything except for program under T. Like setting up tests.
Of course, they fail.
Yeah, that's fine. Commit those. I don't want to commit what I just did here. Mm-hmm. So let's grab that new random. We can move that to the very top of the board. So let's move that to the first line. Yeah, run this again. It's going to pass, of course. But
what do you think of introduce parameter on the new random?
On play?
Yeah.
I would assume other people call play than us. So I'm going to
now
appeal it.
Main is the only caller.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, assuming that the only thing that calls this is the main function. No other things touch us. So I'd be okay with that. But in general, that practice is going to kill me. So I would prefer to take everything else in this method and peel it to play.
Okay.
But I hear what you're saying, right? But
I want this to be collapsed here right now.
no, don't collapse.
Not normally.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're wanting to extract this.
Yeah. Extract that as play.
All right, there we go. Extract.
Play. Wait, what? What is going on here? No, that's good. Play. Good.
I grabbed too much. Let me try it one more time.
No,
I used the expand selection and I grabbed the.
Oh, yeah. You just need to go down to the end. There you go.
You sure?
Yeah.
I can't tell.
It's good.
This is why I like the collapsing, so I can see just the range that I have selected.
Play.
No, we wait.
Play.
I typed play a while ago.
Oh. We're just waiting for the computer to think?
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah, okay, this is good. That name is not good. But we'll deal with that in a second. And then remove the 1 in random. And go back to our test, and here where we call play, pass in random 1. All right, and that passed?
Not quite. Build yet. Tell me when you want in crunch.
Oh, now? I want in crunch now. We are now at the point where, like, stuff should be working forever.
Why are you asking these questions? Just I want the test runner to run my tests.
Yeah. It's weird that the default is not run my test. I get the whatever the green bar-y thing is up to. Yeah.
Remco, if you're watching this, NCrunch is awesome. Thank you so much. Please fix these little details.
Yes. Second, all of that. Okay. So that's just like working, and it'll be there in a second, right?
Yeah. But I ran and it passed.
Let's commit, and now this is our bang bang, and we have introduced a peel.
I just want to check in. What have we done here?
There's
a lot. I want to make sure we extracted this.
Yeah, we peeled
method here, and okay. Just peel. Anything else you want to say there?
That seems more than good enough. Oh, that's an interesting point. Thank you. I'm just gonna. No. Yep. I'm gonna do that. Okay. It's just moving the video on Twitch so that people can see that InCrunch is actually green. Do that. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is this is ugly. Scroll down a little bit. Coverage. Scroll down a lot. So we're missing some black here on the collapse. Keep going. Keep going.
A little bit of black there.
Wait, we're just the collapse, right?
I thought I saw the colors a little subtle.
Oh, you're right. There's
right
something
there.
there. Something's going on here.
Cool. So there's some there, and there's some there. I bet you NCrunch has a way to do this without me distinguishing dark green from black.
Yeah, that'd be nice. What's up with that solid greeny? There's a green dot that's different. If you go up there, what's going on 604?
That's perf.
That's what?
Slow lines versus fast lines get different shades of green.
That's cool. Okay, yeah, keep going. Yeah, this is all looking good. Got some
more
black here. Yeah, keep going. So it looks like this file does, like, I don't know. How many do you think it does?
How many what?
Like if we open up the approval file, how many? It looked like we had multiple boards or something, right?
I think it takes one starting board and then iterates until it gets to completion and shows you each step along the way.
Okay, that
So
sounds
it's a
good.
single solution, but steps.
But lots of steps. Okay. Well, in that case, we need more stuff. So clone line 6, just put a for loop around line 16. And I don't know, what do you think? 10?
I'm fine with a big number.
That seems
Unless
like
it's
too big
slow.
of a number.
Oh,
You're gonna have to run
what?
this manually. That
Besides,
one, not one, it has to be I now.
besides being slow, what are the bad things about it being big?
Yeah, okay. How slow is this?
I don't know.
Run,
It's a good question. I just want to know what we're looking
10,000
for.
just seems big. Let's try 10 and see if we solve our problem.
Okay. So 10 was quick.
The whole thing. Did it just fail?
No, it was.
Oh, no, there
it
it
was
is.
caught.
Okay,
It didn't
good,
like
good,
the
good, good.
10,000. So.
Okay, so now let's go and check our coverage.
Yep, got some there.
Good.
Some there.
Good. 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 Good.
Yeah, that's it.
It feels like it's 100%. You know what? Just run it under the thing and see it say 100% and make me extra happy.
Doesn't nCrunch have a report?
Not in. Does it? Metrics? Code coverage 90%. Sudoku cover. Program. If you open up program, what does it say?
It
says excluded line 0. Uncovered
lines 10.
That's
But
probably
we know
the
that
main.
there's a.
That's probably the main and the other thing. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Yeah, because main's going to be uncovered and the seam that we created is going to be uncovered. Okay.
Do you have any interest in a larger number here in case there's some combination we haven't thought of? Just hedges our bets a little, or we're like totally cool with 10?
I feel like every line is executed. We're probably good.
Okay. Well, we're just going to rip and tear willy-nilly, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much. It still looks pretty good. I think this is good.
What do we do here?
More test coverage. All right, so now let's start ripping. Let's just start with that if block at the end. Just pull it out. The whole thing, including the if.
More efficient next time.
If changed mage. It's honest. Oh wait, hold on. Print the board as it looks after one change. So probably print change.
But more honest.
It feels more honest. That's what the comment says. Not print board, print change.
It's not. It's print board if changed.
After one change was made to it.
Yeah, but there's an if. I'll type what you told me.
All right, we'll go with print change. Print board change. There. Now we have both of our words. Okay, there's a region here, so let's grab that out as well.
Do you want me to commit?
Oh yeah, commit's good. We're just going to imply after everything commits. Yeah, whatever that is, extract. Final attempt.
Look if board has multiple solutions.
Oh, that looks good too. Let's try look if board has multiple solutions.
I don't know.
Nice
It's
that
just
there's
what the code
comments
says.
here.
Yeah.
It's better than applesauce.
Come on, what?
I can see you type. That's not a good indicator.
Oh, I typed a while ago. Wouldn't it be amazing if there was a refactoring that would just take the name from the comment for you?
Yeah, do that one too.
We'll just keep doing this. Try to find groups of digits. How about
that? Yeah, I'm good with that. Applesauce it up.
I sometimes tell people to take 10 seconds to think about a name. That's your time box. That's way too long.
I mean, right now, we still don't even have like the structure of this program exposed.
That failed.
That failed? All right, undo it. That failed. How did that fail?
Come on, ReSharper.
Oh, okay, so in that case, so where was that at? Can you collapse that region? Okay, but it's inside of a bigger block. Grab the bigger block. Yeah. Extract that as applesauce. A step change made to whatever, not applesauce.
I think this is going to fail as well. I think there's a type issue here with this list parameter. It should be strongly typed, but it's not.
We'll find out in a second. I can't imagine it being that failing because it's whatever we're doing with it underneath here, we're passing it in, so it's got to be passable.
Come on, computers.
Yeah, there we go.
Failed to build.
Wait, I don't. Has it failed to build, or is it just rebuilding right now?
So cell groups is the result of something here, and it's turning it into. I suspect, yeah, it's an anonymous type.
Okay, so undo this, and let's just for right now change all vars to be. Can we tell the whole? Can we do a format where everything is explicit?
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever's var will be our problem child.
It looks like that's already done.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So then go find us the vars.
There's 3 there, and then a bunch more down here.
And that's probably for the same thing. No. Ugh. Okay, so let's scroll up.
This one, no. Here's the top. Where do you want to be?
I want that. I want that var to not be varred. So let's go see why it's the first var. What's our first var, and why is it a var?
Yeah, they're all anonymous types.
Oh, because they're just doing the select thing in there. Is there a refactoring to make it anonymous? I bet there
anonymous?
is.
No, I don't think so.
No. Click on the new and to name class. There we go. Do that.
Okay. Yeah, I learned something new.
Applesauce returns. Yeah, applesauce 1. That works.
We're gonna have a bunch of these. Scope. You can declare a type in the current method. That doesn't make any sense. Read-only properties, writable auto properties. I don't care about that stuff.
I don't care about any of this right now. Location top level.
You know, the anonymous types have these. So if we really want to maintain existing behavior, we should.
Okay, I'm good with that. And then solution, maybe for scope. Okay, whatever. Does that work?
There it is.
Okay, commit. Sorry, I'll be right back, but finish getting those other vars into applesauces. All right. Where are we at?
We're getting there. It turns out that type was useful in multiple places, which is kind of a neat trick.
Oh, that's nice. How did you detect that?
No, it did it.
Oh, it did
The
detect.
robot.
The robots are good. All right. Can we extract that big block then?
Oh, I'm not quite done.
Yep.
So there's
Specify.
multiple vars,
Yeah.
and I'm doing a cycle of specify type explicitly and search for var explicitly. I feel like this is good to do all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why isn't that one? I didn't
Just
do it all in
because
play.
having code you can touch is helpful.
Clipboard history. Var. Yeah, I think we're there.
All right. And we're passing and we're committed. All right. So let's pull out that.
Region
Yeah. The
or
whole
something
region.
in a
Yeah.
region.
Pull out the whole region.
This is the wrong method. We want to be in play.
We do. Yeah. Pull out that region.
We're going to give this a slightly better name in a moment.
Okay.
I just want to see it build first before I think about a name. All right, this was try to.
It's a bool, so is try find group of digits. It's misspelled, but who cares?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, commit that. Let's grab the region above it and do the same thing. What is that a destructor?
What are you seeing?
The tilde. Find the tilde.
This is bit masking. Is
But
that the tilde you saw?
there was at group, because group is not a.
Because it's a reserved
I'm like,
word.
why am I seeing at group? It was tilde at group is what I saw, and it was bit masking on a variable name that is a reserved word. Man, why would you do that? Applesauce is a better name.
Too much fun.
All right, let's keep going up to our play. We still got so much here. Find our next paragraph. There's a while loop there. Just take the entire insides of that while loop. Yep. Everything inside of that. Just pull that out. Applesauce 4. There's. Show me the top of this play method. How are we not getting this down smaller yet? All right, keep going. Get the next while loop. Pull everything out of there, including the while.
I didn't last time.
Oh, okay. We'll do it this time. Pull those regions out too. So, it's 161. There's a. Let's just use that name as the whole stupid thing. Something looks like it went weird. Oh no. Okay. Good. We're committing these. Yeah.
I feel like prepare is a good verb
Yeah.
in code. Like compute or calculate or.
Yeah. It's not a bad name. A lot of times you're preparing stuff. This region looks weird, but grab that whole thing, yeah. The whole while statement. Are we finally to the end of the play thing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like 163 lines, right? Scroll up.
It's not because there's things above it.
Okay, we still got what's going on with this first region? Construct partially board. Grab that and pull it out. All right, 4 lines. I can handle 4 lines. That's a level of code complexity I think is within my manageable thing.
I think we're done. This code is great. We can go.
Except for, I mean, look, it has outs and oh man. How do we have out at the first thing? We have a board and a state stack. What's a state stack? A stack of ends? What's a stack of ends?
Stack of arrays of ints. So here it creates one. Top element is current state of the board. And here it uses it. While stack is less than something, do some work.
Okay. Well, it would be nice to, but then we also we write all this stuff, right?
Before, I don't understand what you said, but I want to say something else first, which is, I think what this does is it says, this empty position, suppose it was a 1, how might that work out? And then it says, well, the next empty position, suppose it was a 2, how might that work out? And it builds a tree, and then if it gets down to the bottom of a branch and says this won't work, then it abandons. So I think that's the stack that it's trying to
do
walk its way through.
What's it doing with random? Oh, whatever it's doing in Applesauce 4, so that keeps getting passed around. And then it has this take the board and select, this whole thing looks like it's board.toString, right?
Which
What is
here?
board? Yeah. Scroll up. Board is a char array. That's horrible.
So it's the state of the program, like the state of the board, is stored as display characters. There's no separation between the data and the presentation.
Yeah. Okay, and then if we scroll up, okay, so this whole thing, oh, okay, so board though is not, board is getting returned. Char array is, this plus the state stack is what we think of as the Sudoku board, right?
It's the board. The stack is part of the solver, not the board itself.
I mean, the weird thing is these two things belong together anyways. We can kind of tell that because whatever this is doing, it returns them.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably have the ability to turn this into a tuple or something. If you click on that, try just clicking on the construct fully populated and see what our quick fixes are.
Quick fixes are almost nothing. Public virtual.
Okay, what change signature?
I think we want to make this return. It's not just offering us a way to do that.
Yeah. Let's check the other refactoring. There's got to be another thing here. Transform parameters. I like that.
Different?
Method returns. Let's check the method returns. New class with public fields. Auto property is probably better.
I don't want to change what it receives.
Yeah. I don't like it taking anything. Like it only should take random.
Yeah.
So unclick state stack int and unclick, or I guess, oh no, sorry, it's the other one. Unclick random. Click the other two. There we go. And out class name is going. I think it's going to be Sudoku board. Okay, sure. It's honest and complete. Okay. So now what does play do? Can we take the other classes and put them in their own files?
Mm-hmm. Move types to matching files in file. Yeah.
Nice, and did it for all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's go take a look at our play. So we construct a fully populated board with a random, which gives us a fully constructed board. And then we pull the stacks out of it so we can pass it
Refactoring.
in to the next place. So, I mean, what I want to do is pass it into the next place.
Sure.
Just straight.
So at the very least, I don't know if there's a nice way to do this in ReSharper. We can inline those two.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then transform parameters. I don't want a new class. I want to use existing class. I think we have to do this by hand.
Okay. And we got good coverage, so we'll just introduce the next one. So introduce construct fully populated board. Okay, fair enough. Oh wait, sorry, undo. Just undo twice. Undo more. Undo more. Undo more. Okay, copy lines 21 and 22. Cut lines 21 and 22.
What the hell?
What just happened?
Okay, I don't want to do this right now.
Cut that.
Okay, cut it.
Change the red to be, oh, sorry. Don't cut those. I guess we're going to keep those for a second because we only want to deal with one at a time. So take that and turn in fully constructed populated board.
Can we rename this?
Board. Rename it to board.
Oh, there's already one of those.
Okay. Rename it to board 1.
It's that after it's typed.
Sure.
Right. You were going to say
here, pass in
almost that. Okay, board.
Sudoku board and stack state there, and then fix the signature. No. Add, yeah.
The right thing.
Because the problem is like you added and removed at the same time.
Did you not want me to do it that way?
Well, I mean, usually I just add and then I would remove.
I'm happy to do it again.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Okay. Video. Okay. Undo.
Yep.
Yes should be the default, and Git got it wrong.
Fair enough. All right, so we're going to go back to where we were a second ago. Add in Sudoku board and stack state as the 4th parameter. Yeah. Quick fix that so it works. Yep. Now, change your signature to, or copy 21 and 22. Go to this method. Paste it in as the first line. And then go to delete those two things there. And then you have to go back to the other red and delete them there. And we should be back to green. Yeah. passing object. And then inline, or yeah, safe delete that. And then inline the other one. And for right now, we're just going to ignore the rest of it. All right, so now let's go take a look at, well, let's take a look at construct fully populated board. I feel like we now have this like sectioned off in a place where we can actually maybe get that into a reasonable piece. Or we could even separately test it, although I'm not sure how much I care about that. But I kind of care about that. Well, I don't care about it yet, but I'm going to care about it in a second. Scroll down. Here, we create this board thingy. We create a stack thingy. We just initialize a lot of stuff. And then we do whatever applesauce 4 does, which must, since everything else is just creating stuff, and then we print it. So this string.join, I really want that. So pull that out as a separate, like 81, pull that out as a variable. And I think this is going to be, I think it's going to be the toString. Yeah.
I think that this is solve. Or try solve step or something like that.
Oh, we'll come back to it in a second.
Okay,
so
cool.
the string join, I want to pull that into a method and put it on our board.
Our board is not a type yet.
What do you mean? Our board isn't a type yet. Wait, hold on. So don't do it yet. So in that case, the new Sudoku board and stack, put that like 86, pull that into a variable. And move it up above the console write lines.
It's not the one that should have the toString.
I really think it should.
Yeah, it has two things. It's a board and a stack, and the board should have the toString. I'll put it there for you for now. All right, where did you want this?
I want it, no. I want 86 above this on like 78. And now I want to pull, yeah, are we passing? Okay, so now I want to pull that string.join into the Sudoku board and stack state as the toString. Good. Now you should be able to actually just transfer it straight onto board. Yep. Good. Wait, why is it passing board? So go to the toString here. It shouldn't take board. So get rid of board.
Do you want me to revert what we're doing and then do what you're saying?
Do it for a second because we have our tests protecting us. And change that board to be a return value, which should be called board. And get rid of the board there. Yeah. And then let's go fix up that object in a second. Good. Tests are passing. And then so here, the return value, let's reformat that to be, okay, well, let's first make this extend to string or override, yeah, because that should be. Then next, let's make return value actually be called board.
Yes.
Okay, so this seems better.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's go back. And so this console writes to the line, but otherwise it creates the board. So now we actually have something that's also testable. Also, this entire thing belongs on board, right? Like this. If we scroll up, this is like create board.
Well, it's doing two things, right? There's the board and the stack state. I think they should be different classes and have different initializers on them.
Why?
Because this is the board
Sure.
and the stack state is part of the solver.
Why do you think it's part of the solver?
Because Sudoku is not inherently a stack.
I think what this is just different ways of representing the board.
The stack is a collection of boards that
It's a
represents
collection of constraints.
here it says top element is current state of the board.
Right. So that's state of the board.
No, the element is the state of the board.
The
It's
stuff
a
in
collection
there
of
is
them.
these are the integers in the board.
Okay.
All right.
So I think, and we haven't found this yet, that one element of the stack represents all 9 times 9 times 9 values on the board.
Yeah. Multiple
So
times. But I still think
multiple
this is the board.
times.
I think these are the numbers of the board.
Let's keep going and see what happens.
All right. But either way, like this belongs on board. This whole thing is creating a board.
I'll do what you tell me to do. I'll disagree and commit.
All right, fair enough. I'll take it. Well, okay,
You know,
actually, so this first part, prepare an empty board. That definitely like that entire can you get line and middle and board, like are those used anywhere else?
I'm not sure where you're looking.
Line 34. Double click the line. It looks like it's only there. Yeah, so let's just grab that entire. What I think this should be here.
Are you talking about this?
Yeah. I think that this should just be new Sudoku board and stack state. No, so how do we? So okay, so we're already newing up a Sudoku board and stack state on line 79. So let's move line 79 up to line 52. I think it was still
Definitely not there, but it could go here.
yeah, it could actually go there. So let's do that for a second.
You want to keep that, or is this just an
No, I
experiment?
want it actually underneath the stack part.
Do you want it here?
Yeah. So that still works? Yeah, commit that. Okay. And now do me a favor and let's separate those two. Separate 69.
I just noticed something.
Yeah.
Stack state is created here.
Yeah.
We pass it in there,
Yeah.
but it's only used here. Like this is its entire.
No, I totally agree with that.
That's not true.
That's what I'm
Actually,
trying to get to.
it does get passed to the caller, which passes it somewhere else. So what I said was wrong. But go ahead and say what's next.
We'll separate line 69.
Separate.
Yeah, quick fix will do it. Yeah. And then move line 69 up to line 31, I guess. This region is junk. We can get so commit this and then get rid of the region completely. This is our constructor.
Region, yes.
So line 33 to 67. Oh, sorry. Before we do that, put from 33 to 67 to 69, encapsulate that entire thing with curlies and see what breaks. Good. Go to whatever breaks and put that on side of the Sudoku board in stack state.
That where?
So Sudoku board in stack state in front of all these things. No. The variable. So like the reason this while statement doesn't work is because, so do a 70, yeah, go to 78 and paste in there. Here, yeah, that instead. We're going to do that also here. We're going to deal with those three things in a second. The board is going to be that. Okay, now where are these stacks being used? I don't know where these stacks are being used. I assume those, so okay, so whatever I just did didn't work the way I was expecting it. Because I was expecting these other four stacks to be under the stack state. And it doesn't look like they are. Can we go into applesauce 4 for a second? And we have a stack state. Search for stack state in here. And then is something getting added to this or pushing the current state? And okay, undo whatever I just did. That was a mistake. Let's go back to where we were up there. So the stack state stays and this stays, but those other things don't. Okay, so we're going to do similar to what I just did. Okay, so put the curlies in again to show us what's wrong.
Where was that? From here?
From there to
There.
no, including 69. Okay. Then the four things that are unused, move them down underneath, outside of the curlies. Somehow these belong here. I don't quite understand that yet. And then take the three things that are not right and put them onto the variable.
Yeah. What you want?
And that should pass. Okay. So then apparently this is our constructor. So if we go up to the top and grab 34 through, but not the last one. So everything up into there. Cut that. We're doing like a manual weirdness right now
You want to make this a constructor on this
on
class?
Sudoku board in stack state.
So we can extract method CTOR. That'll at least get us partway there, right?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that just makes things worse.
Okay. I'll put it back.
Oh, you know what you could do though? That would make things better? Extract this plus 60. Extract this whole block. Call that CTOR.
This is
Create, yeah.
new.
New. And then put that onto Sudoku board in stack stays.
I wish the convention for factory methods was the word new.
Oh,
That's what they do.
I like the word create, but it's all good.
I know, but that should have named new create then. They should be the same.
And the next thing I think we have to do is make this here. So what just happened?
Getting there.
Okay. We're green, it's in the right place, so it's not in the right place.
Oh, what did I just do? Let's revert that.
Okay, so this, just move that method into there. Yeah.
That's what I thought I was
Yeah.
doing, but apparently pushed the wrong button.
So now if we go to that Sudoku board stack space, there we are.
No, this is something different. This has created a new class. That is a static class that contains just this one thing. It's completely wrong.
Okay, physically move it. Just copy and paste it. Because we have to change it anyways. So go back to where we are. Paste it here. Change it to a constructor just straight out. Public. No static. No return. You're using the name twice. Yep. On line 9. There we go. And then we have to assign these two things here. We can just do it. Yeah, okay. That works. And let's call it and get ourselves back to green. Oh, good. R bang bang. Cedar, yeah. Okay, so now let's clean up. So, yeah, get rid of those curlies, put it together, get rid of the dead code.
What dead code are you seeing?
If you go to the Sudoku board in stack state, we have that constructor that we no longer need. And we have line 11, which we no longer need. And we have comments here that are not as useful. So first of all, like inline stack state on line 34, that's not helping at all. You can get rid of the comments 31 through 33. And then I would just, I mean, there's a temptation to inline this as well, but I would inline it the opposite. Okay, that works. Yeah. And then just do that. Yeah.
Happy to do this way.
Yeah, like that. Okay, and now I want an actual test because I think this is behavior that we actually might care about. So let's write a new test called test empty board and just approval verify an empty board. Not just approvals dot verify, new thingy. And I think this is going to give us an empty board. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be confused.
It doesn't know how to two-string itself.
Okay,
oh,
yeah.
Look, it does.
That is what I'm expecting right now. So that's good. And that's actual behavior that we seem to care about. Okay. Now let's go look at whatever that other thing is that puts the, wait, what?
Not quite right. Why is that coming up at all?
I don't know. My suggestion, you're in Beyond Compare. Just select everything and right click and say use.
I did, but this says that the encoding something.
It should be UTF-8 bomb. Alternatively, we can move it over directly.
How do you do that? Copy, edit. Copy to right.
Yeah. Save that. Run it. Does it still fail?
There we go. Now it's green.
Okay. All right. So now let's go back. And I want to see what's going on with the applesauce 4.
Okay. Time check. We should pause soon if we want to have any discussion.
Good point. How long should we leave for discussion? When should we pause? When should we stop?
We should stop in 1 minute and then have 10 minutes of discussion.
Okay. Let's go check out applesauce 4 in 1 minute. Oh man. Scroll down. Command. What command are we passing into this?
I don't know how to get back. Take me back. There we go. Command. Expand.
Oh, just inline that.
Can't do that. It's state.
It's stateful?
It comes back out.
It comes out as a command. Okay. So then go back in there and grab the if command thing and applesauce command.
What do you want to do?
Grab that entire block. And extract that as applesauce command. No, sorry. Yeah, I mean, applesauce expand. The next one, applesauce collapse.
I get where we're going. Let's stop in meta.
We go 1 second further
Okay.
because I actually want to see the structure of this. But I appreciate what you're saying. And applesauce move. Is that it?
We'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because then we can like actually change that to an enum and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I like the enum.
Okay. Yeah.
Same parameters. There's some structure here that we might be able to do something interesting with.
And it sort of tells us what's going on, which is also nice, right? Which is, I don't know what move does, but it feels like expand and collapse are reasonable things. Oh, it's also weird that they don't take the same thing.
And that this one takes the RNG. That
and
Okay,
the
I
other
don't want to
one
look at that
takes
right
the
now.
board.
Right there. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I did this.
All right. So let's start with anything that's like still blocking as a question. So for me, what is the stack is still a what is the stack and how is it relating to the board? Because the board is chars and the stack is arrays of integers, and they seem very, very related, but somehow they're not. All right.
Would you, if this was real world, would you commit and ship the changes we've done today?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I would expect no complaints from it. And if I
Um,
got complaints, I would very much want to know that.
there are a bunch of applesauces,
Yeah.
and that's something that I think people might push.
Push back against? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but there's a bunch of junk before.
It was, and
Like,
then the other
the
thing,
code is definitely in a better state now than it was an hour and a half ago.
my other hesitation is the thing where there were some badly named variables that now exist in more places, and like sometimes there's this thing where after refactoring for a while, we feel like we have a better stance, like a better understanding. And if we started over, we'd do something better. I don't think we're there yet, though.
No, I don't think that's the case. We have a lot of applesauces. Actually, so let's pull those up for a second and just quickly look at them. The classes that are applesauce. So this is a discriminator, a row, an index, and a column, right? Like this
Description.
probably is a board. This looks like it's a board. What is this? A discriminator, a description, a mask, and a grouping of cells.
The mask is hiding so much. I don't really know. I think the first one looks like a candidate or a guess. It says for this particular cell, it might be this value, but there's more going on. I don't know what index is. I don't know. That's just a guess.
Yeah. And so this looks like something, because this has
There's
cells, right?
which are applesauce ones grouped by int. So
Yeah. And then if we go back,
we have applesauce one in 2 locations in here. That's strange.
I think applesauce 1 is a cell.
I think it's a cell. Okay.
All right, because look, it's not applesauce 3, but applesauce 1. It's an index row column. Maybe it is a guess, but I think it's a cell. And if we go back here, wait, this is 3,
So it's big one. 2.
2. This is,
Yeah.
I mean, look, it says cells and it says
Right.
applesauce. That is almost definitely a cell.
Yeah. It's a cell grouped by something. We don't know what.
Yeah.
But cool.
So, but we're now in a place where you can start to figure that stuff out. Before this was completely unnamed, right? So, I mean, yes, this code needs improvement, and there are areas that we have left almost intentionally messy. But so there's 2 questions I think that you're asking. One is would you ship, and one is would you commit, right? And my first answer is I would ship, and that necessitates a commit.
Yeah.
Because the commit, the pushback you're going to get from the commit is from other programmers,
Hmm.
right? And then the pushback you're going to get from the ship is from users.
Yeah. It's not going to harm our ability to do business with the software. It might have some impact on the ability of a programmer to make a change tomorrow, positive or negative.
Yeah, but if shipping does cause problems, I absolutely want to know about it now because
Yeah.
what I'm about to do is going to make it really hard to figure it out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yeah. All right. Let's jump in a couple of the other patterns. So language, tools, domain, team. I just want to say there's multiple times where you did things that you disagreed with,
Hmm.
and I'm super appreciative of that.
Is that under team?
That's under team.
Okay. So there's a term that we've been using at work lately, which is disagree and commit.
Disagreeing.
Like, we'll just say that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to disagree and commit. Like, we have to work together.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about it. And at some point, the right thing is to say, I will do this thing that you're asking for, and I'm not going to undermine it. We'll support this effort, even though it's not what I think is the best choice. And that is,
Yeah.
I think that's useful.
And then also like there's a lot of places where we rolled it back, which was also helpful, right? Like so, there's some places where you disagreed and we committed, and then it was the wrong choice and we undid it. And there are other places where you disagree and you might still disagree, but we're still moving forward.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the bias to action,
Yeah, biased action is a great way of saying that.
which is explicitly listed in the core protocols as a thing that a team should have.
Yeah. In language, there was the tilde, which is a bit masking, which that still scares me.
It makes me angry. So
And yeah, the at, which is reserved word, but I'm going to use it as a variable anyway, which I also don't like. Just come up with another name, man. There was a lot of regions in this code, which is interesting. Regions are always a smell, but they were also really helpful in figuring out where the paragraphs were and what some of the names were that should have been there.
it's kind of this weird thing of like, this could have been well structured code, and somebody did all of the hard work in finding and identifying the structure. And I can do the easy part of extracting the methods. And like, I look like the hero of making the code better structured, but I didn't do anything. Like, somebody else before me did all the work, and they just didn't quite cross the finish line.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Uh,
like
so partly I
so
want to say
close.
thank you. Thank you to that previous person for doing all that hard work. And also, I'm a little annoyed with you that you didn't like get the payoff for what you invested in.
Well, and so I think that one test we wrote, so that we wrote two tests, right? And the
Mhm.
first test is meaningless. The only thing the first test tells us is we haven't broken stuff.
Mhm.
And that second test is meaningful. It actually is explaining behavior of the code. Not a lot of behavior, right? It's just saying, hey, like you can create a Sudoku thing and it has stuff. I can see like the expand and the move and the shrink thing.
Mhm.
It would be interesting to like call that and see how the board is actually shaping and expands and moves and controls. And we now
Mhm.
have that sort of ability, right? Because we can pass in a board and a command and see how did it do things. It did it do things?
Yeah. So there's that interesting thing where instead of debugging or reading, we can write a test and say, "Oh, that's an interesting output," and learn, not just write a useful test, but learn from the test
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is general poking, right? You execute code and see what it does.
The only time our pinning test failed was when we extracted a method that couldn't be extracted. And it was a straight up build error. It was just like the extract method shouldn't have allowed us to do this. And there was no point where it said, where we saw a diff, where it said the logic has changed.
Yeah, we weren't seeing diffs. We did get build failures when we tried hand editing stuff. Can you pull up our Git history? So 48 changes. I'm seeing more uppercase R's, maybe because when we have the safety, I'm feeling more reckless.
Yeah. I mean, ratio wise, I think we did well. We dominate with lower R's, but we found all these little places where like ReSharper just doesn't quite have a satisfying refactoring for the thing we're
And
looking at.
we also didn't. So there's like, we're in a place where when we don't have a satisfying refactoring, we don't figure out another path, or we don't not go down that path.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, whatever, we're going forward. Like,
Yeah.
and I think the big green and the fact that we got to 100% coverage sort of is what emboldens me on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've definitely been in environments where I would not have taken the uppercase R's. Right.
Yeah.
I still feel very safe that this, like, my confidence in this code still does what it started doing is sky high.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think there's some context that we didn't really establish. Is there a behavior change that we're trying to create in here? Like, why are we bothering to refactor this code? We haven't answered that question.
Yeah. And I'm sure
We're
that there is an answer to that question.
Yeah, we're just doing it for fun so
Yeah.
far. And in the real world, I would want that because it would help direct.
Yeah,
Should we
exactly.
pursue this unsafe refactoring because we need this code to be in a different structure? Or
Or
should
we're
we just
trying to
leave it?
add something to it, or we're trying to debug something from it,
Yeah.
or, yeah.
And then the other thing we don't have is what level of safety is necessary for this context.
Yeah.
Is there a cultural history around us of, oh, the last time developers refactored, they broke things, we don't like refactoring around here, and so we need to hold a very high bar of safety? Or is this like, yeah, it's not really in production yet, feel free to do what you need to do to get
I
us
mean, you
there?
said, would you commit and ship? And we bypass the can you ship? What does shipping look like? Like,
Yeah.
is this a trivial thing? Is it a complicated thing? Like, we have no idea. Yeah. There's another thing that's happening in the language. I don't. Maybe it's the domain. There's some weird link statements coming up. Actually, in the domain in general, there's a lot of primitive obsession, right? Like, there are just disjointed lists of integers and double arrays of chars that are just sort of
Mhm.
everywhere, right? And definitely, like, pulling out that Sudoku board and stack is a start of trying to get away from that primitive accession, but it's
Mhm.
still rampant in the
Yeah.
stuff.
There's a real issue with the board represented as chars.
Yeah.
Like it's in its display format
Yeah.
for as an input to the processing.
And yeah.
But I do think that teasing that apart would take a ton of work. And so I can see that lingering for a while. But we'll see.
I mean, so what would be interesting in response to that is, can we gate the reading and writing of the char array? Right? So if we could gate that, then we might be able to, like, quickly address it. Right? So if we had a, like, set and a get, then the fact that it's backed by chars probably won't matter. And then we can just sort of do whatever we want to do. It feels very much like, I mean, definitely you have this issue of the display and the data are inherently mixed together. There's not data with a display, right?
Yep.
That's obviously something you would want.
Cool.
I think a big question we should ask on Twitch is, do we want to continue doing this kata?
Is it a Twitch thing to like get tips?
So there's some
Good.
tips coming in here from Claire in the chat. So she was the one who introduced us to the set out, which is super useful.
Yeah.
Also told us about the window transform parameters, which we found without, but still appreciate. And mentioned that we got tests in about 20 to 25 minutes. Yeah. We also have Leo mentioning that the kata is working for us. I think that's votes for us to continue again. You want to try again next week?
Sure.
All right. We're going to have to save this machine then.
Yep.
And same time next week. Does that work for you? I'm putting you on the spot in a.
Let's guess yes and
Okay.
and pivot. Calendars
That
are
sounds good.
complicated.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to stop the stream then. Thank you, everyone who did check it out, and we'll look at more later.